Hey everyone, here's another thing that I wanted to talk about because I know how not all doctors always do their job. Of course, we all know how a lot of them are like that. Not all care about saving lives and stuff like that. But yeah, I know that I do have, besides fibromyalgia and arthritis and asthma, of course, I also deal with this type of vertigo in my ear because on the inside it does hang a bit loose. Because I've had more than one doctor told me about that. Mine's a little more a rare condition because of the fact that I know there are ways that people do to help get rid of it, and it doesn't seem to work that well for me because the doctors have noticed that, and luckily the doctor that I had a few years ago before I was pregnant with my daughter, she was the one who gave me medication for that. So it's like, yes, I will get dizziness, like, so randomly. It's like, it's bad enough when I have my fibromyalgia that can cause that. But I also know that people who have hyperlexemia and being anemic, which I already know I was diagnosed with being anemic years ago, and even my aunt Cindy knows that because of the fact that it runs in the family, but also she is a specialist. She was a specialist in doing cancer, and then she switched over to other things like, people who deal with being anemic and hyperlexemia, stuff like that. I remember I've talked about it with her before when I was pregnant with my daughter and stuff, and she remembers that my dad has hyperlexemia, and she's like, she already knew that I was somebody who was showing symptoms to that as well because she is a specialist that's higher than a doctor, of course. She knows more than what normal doctors or even nurses would know because, that's why they're known as specialists for a reason. But yeah, it's like people who have hyperlexemia deal with dry mouths, besides dizziness, headaches, lightheadedness, low blood sugar, rapid pulse and heart rates, feeling thirsty and hungry. Some people like to think, oh, only people who have diabetes deal with that. But that's the thing. My ex and his family don't get that hungry. That's crap right there, by the way. And there were like a few other people that I know, and even besides my aunt Cindy, who also knows that that's not a true fact. People who have hyperlexemia actually do end up feeling really hungry. Even I've looked into other specialists uh, about that too. They also said yes, people who feel very hungry, it's because of hyperlexemia. But it's crazy because people who are anemic don't always feel as hungry. Sometimes they lack of feeling hungry. So it's like I deal with like both randomly. Sometimes I'll be so hungry and other times not so much. That's why I don't always eat in the morning because I skip out on that. And I just mainly eat lunch and dinner. Certain times that I feel like I'm having a snack, I do a snack. Especially because of the fact that, yes, when my hyperlexemia acts up, then yes, I will get pretty hungry and eat something. Also, you deal with blurry vision. Um, let's see. You deal with hard concentration like I am now, by the way. Um, and stuff. Dealing with, tingliness. It's already bad enough when my fibromyalgia does that kind of thing, feeling tingliness in your hands and your feet. That also that's another thing that people also who have hyperlexemia deal with that, deal with paler skin. You've seen my videos, you've seen that my skin does look a little more sorry. I hate when that happens. Um, and also, I deal with, rigid nails where your nails could be like so thin and very sensitive too. I've also learned about that because that has happened to me so much growing up. It's so sensitive. So it's like there was a point in my life, even my mom knows this, and my stepdad, my best friend, she knows this too, where I wore fake nails for a while because it actually helped keep my nails protected because of how sensitive they were. They were really thin. I mean, they still can be pretty thin even now, which really sucks. But also dealing with weight gain, also bowel issues. You can feel nausea, dryness of skin. I deal with dryness of skin like you wouldn't believe. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but I always had to apply lotion. I even do oils. I even do Vaseline, and then it helps my skin feel better for a bit, and then it goes right back to dryness in this area, this area, this area. Also, a lot in my elbows, knees, a little bit in the arm, other parts of my arms, definitely in my legs below the knee, and sometimes my feet can get pretty dry, and stuff. You also deal with mood swings from having hyperlexemia. Um, you can deal with sweatiness. Oh my gosh, I can sweat easily, like no fucking joke, even during um, fall and winter, besides spring and summer. I get more sensitive. It's like it's not just fibromyalgia that can cause those sensitivity. Even people who have hyperlexemia, deal with that too, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and make a part two real